Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be tackling something I think everyone thinks about pretty often,
Yeah.
and that is managing money.
Hmm.
But we're doing it with a little twist.
Right.
We are taking inspiration from the 1%,
Oh, interesting.
not to become millionaires overnight,
Right.
but to learn how they think about their finances and how they manage their money.
That's fascinating.
Right.
We often just assume they just have more money,
Right.
but it's probably their approach that really makes a difference.
Exactly. And the source that we are using for today's deep dive is a YouTube video from Nisha,
Oh,
and it's called How to Manage Your Money, like the 1%.
okay.
And the kind of the surprising takeaway is this idea that it's not about how much you earn,
Hmm.
but how you manage it.
Yeah.
And the best part is that this system that we're going to be talking about today can work for anyone,
Mm.
regardless of their income.
I'm intrigued already.
Yeah.
A system that can bridge the gap between just everyday finances and how the ultra wealthy think about this stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds very promising.
And it all starts with a simple framework called the 15-65-20 system.
Okay.
Think of it like slicing a pie,
Okay.
each slice representing a portion of your income.
Okay. So 15, 65, and 20.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Let's break it down.
The first 15% is all about building a safety net, your savings.
Okay.
Initially, that means having a quick access emergency fund.
Okay.
And the goal here is to have about 1 month's worth of essential expenses in this account.
Gotcha.
Picture this. A sudden car repair or unexpected medical bill pops up,
Uh-huh.
and you have this emergency fund, and you can handle it
Right.
without going into debt and stressing out.
That peace of mind, I think, is invaluable.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you're prepared for any of life's little, curveballs.
Totally.
But it sounds like the saving slice doesn't just stop at 1 month.
You're right.
Right.
The ultimate goal is to have 3 to 6 months worth of essential expenses in this account. That's your true financial fortress against job loss or any other major unexpected event.
I see. So it's not just about being frugal or anything.
Right.
It's about having that stability, that foundation that just allows you to pursue opportunities, maybe weather some challenges without that constant worry about
money.
All right, so now let's move on to the biggest slice of the pie.
Okay.
65% for fundamental expenses. These are your non-negotiables.
Okay.
So we're talking housing, groceries, transportation, utilities, that sort of thing.
So the everyday essentials that keep life running.
Exactly.
But I imagine this is where the challenge lies for a lot of people,
Yeah.
just keeping these expenses in check.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy for that to creep up as our income grows, right?
But-
So how does the video address this? How do we keep those in check?
So they actually call out this sneaky trap as lifestyle inflation.
You get a raise and suddenly you need a bigger apartment, a fancier car, and more expensive hobbies.
Yeah, it's so easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. And the key is to consciously set limits on your essential spending and avoid that upward creep.
Easier said than done.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So are there any concrete steps people can take? How do you actually do this?
So the video suggests a couple of things.
Okay.
First, analyze your spending habits.
All right.
Identify the biggest drains on your resources and look for ways to optimize.
Okay.
Could you negotiate a better deal on your rent?
Hmm.
Are you subscribed to services you barely use? Think about those things.
Right, yeah.
And then second, they suggest that you consider automating your savings.
Oh, interesting.
So if you can have a portion of your paycheck automatically diverted to your savings account, that'll help you stick to your goals and avoid impulse purchases.
So it's really about being proactive and intentional, I guess,
Totally.
with your money,
Yeah.
rather than just letting it slip away.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about savings, essential expenses. What about that 20%?
Okay, so now for the fun part,
Okay.
20% dedicated to guilt-free enjoyment.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this might seem counterintuitive.
It does. I was just thinking that, most personal finance advice is all about cutting back
Yeah.
and saving, but this is actually encouraging spending on enjoyment.
Right.
How does that work?
So the idea is that by allocating a specific portion of your income for fun things, you're actually less likely to overspend in other areas.
Oh, okay.
And it helps you stick to your financial goals because you're not feeling deprived.
Right.
So think of it as an investment in your well-being.
Yeah.
You know, a little financial breathing room can do wonders for your motivation and your happiness.
Makes sense, because, I mean, we're human, right? We're not robots.
Yeah.
We need those moments of enjoyment and those experiences that bring us joy.
Right.
If we deny ourselves that completely, it's just going to lead to burnout, and then we're going to sabotage our financial progress.
Exactly.
Right.
So this guilt-free enjoyment fund could mean anything.
Okay.
It could be a weekend getaway,
Mm-hmm.
a special purchase you've been eyeing,
Yeah,
or simply a nice dinner with friends.
I like it.
The key is to be intentional about how you spend it
Yeah.
and savor those experiences.
So by consciously allocating funds for both essentials and enjoyment, we're kind of setting ourselves up for more of a balanced and sustainable approach to personal finance.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I'm curious about that powerful force that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Compound interest.
Yes.
It sounds like the video uses an example to kind of illustrate this concept.
They do. So they introduce us to Janet and Mark,
Okay.
two individuals who are on very different investing journeys.
Okay.
So Janet starts early, investing a lump sum of $10,000 at age 30.
Okay.
Let's say she consistently earns a 6% return each year.
Right.
And doesn't touch the money for 20 years.
So Janet's playing the long game here?
She is.
Letting her money grow undisturbed.
Yes.
What happens when she turns 50?
Well, that initial $10,000 blossoms into over $32,000.
Wow.
All without adding a single penny.
That's incredible. That's really the magic of compounding in action.
Yeah.
It's not about getting rich quick. It's just about letting it grow consistently over time and just letting those early returns generate their own returns.
Yes.
Snowballing into something much greater.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's Janet.
That's Janet.
Now, who's Mike?
All right, so now we meet Mike.
Okay.
Mike waits until he's 40 to start investing.
Okay.
But he diligently puts away $2,000 every year for 10 years, also earning that same 6% annual return.
So he's actually putting in double the amount that Janet did.
He is.
I'm curious to see how this plays out.
So when Mike turns 50, his total investment of $20,000 has grown to about $28,000.
Okay, not bad.
Right.
But still less than Janet.
Yes.
Even though he invested twice as much.
Exactly. So that extra decade of compounding makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Janet's money had more time to multiply exponentially.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It is. In fact, Einstein supposedly called compound interest
Wow.
the eighth wonder of the world.
I can see why.
Right.
So the takeaway here is don't wait.
Yes.
Start early.
Start early.
Even if you can only invest small amounts.
Yeah.
It's those early contributions that are going to have the biggest impact over the long run.
Yeah. No matter where you are in your financial journey, the best time to plant that money tree was yesterday. But the second best time is today.
Couldn't agree more.
So how do we put this into action?
Yeah. Where do we begin? What are the first steps?
Well, they suggest starting with something that many people have access to: workplace retirement plans.
Okay, yeah.
And they really highlight the benefit of employer matching.
Yes, the fabled free money opportunity.
Exactly. So let's say your salary is $50,000.
Okay.
And your company offers a 5% match. For every dollar you contribute, up to $2,500, your employer matches it.
Wow. So you're essentially doubling your investment.
You are.
From the get-go.
Yes. It's an immediate 70% return on your investment.
So if you're not taking advantage of that, you're really leaving money on the table.
You are, yeah.
It's a rare opportunity to guarantee such a high return.
It is. Right. And it gets even better.
Okay.
These contributions are made pre-tax.
Okay.
And that money grows tax-free until withdrawal.
Interesting.
So you're reducing your current tax burden.
Right.
And you're letting your money grow more efficiently.
Smart tax planning is such a crucial part of
oh, for sure.
Of long-term financial success, right?
Absolutely.
It's all about minimizing those tax bites.
Right.
To allow for greater compounding and ultimately a larger nest egg.
Totally.
So it sounds like, are there other tax-advantaged accounts?
The video also explores other tax-advantaged accounts.
Okay.
Like Roth IRAs.
Oh, okay.
Or stocks and shares ISAs.
And these are both powerful tools for maximizing your savings and investment potential.
You know, a lot of people have probably heard of these accounts. Yeah. But could you just give us a quick breakdown of what their tax benefits are?
Yeah. So with these accounts, your investments grow completely tax-free.
Oh.
That means no taxes on dividends or capital gains.
Okay.
So your money is just compounding
Really letting it grow.
more effectively over time.
So in a way, the government's kind of encouraging us
Right.
to save and invest for the future.
Yes.
By offering these tax advantages.
Exactly.
But there's a key difference, isn't there, between these and the workplace retirement plans when it comes to taxes?
Yeah. So with Roth IRAs and stocks and shares ISAs, you pay taxes up front on the money that you contribute because it's coming from your after-tax income.
Right, right.
However, you won't owe any taxes when you withdraw the money later on in retirement. Whereas with the workplace retirement plans, you're basically putting in that pre-tax money.
Right.
And then you pay taxes on it.
When you withdraw it, yeah.
When you withdraw it, okay.
So no matter which route you choose, the key takeaway is to prioritize maximizing these tax-advantaged accounts.
Yeah.
They're essential tools for supercharging your long-term savings and investment growth.
Now, the question that that often stumps people is, what should you actually invest in?
Right.
Right. It can feel kind of overwhelming with so many options.
It can.
So does this video offer any guidance there?
It does, and their recommendation is surprisingly simple: passive funds.
Okay, so a hands-off approach.
A hands-off approach. Right?
To investing. Tell me more.
So think of passive funds as a way to effortlessly ride the wave of the stock market's overall performance.
Okay.
They automatically diversify your money across hundreds of companies.
Okay.
So you're minimizing your risk.
Diversification, key principle of investing. Right. To help mitigate loss and ensure a smoother ride through those market ups and downs.
Yep. And here's another perk. Passive funds usually come with very low fees.
Even better.
So that means more of your money stays invested, working for you, instead of being eaten away by expenses.
So it's really like a set it and forget it kind of approach.
It's good.
Perfect for those who don't want to spend hours obsessing over market fluctuations.
Yeah, it really aligns with that lazy person's path to wealth concept.
That we talked about earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be a financial expert to do this.
Exactly. So once you've set up those tax-advantaged accounts and you've established regular contributions, let those passive funds work their magic in the background.
Makes sense.
You don't need to try to outsmart the market or time your investments perfectly.
Right.
Just stay consistent and let the power of compounding do the heavy lifting.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on one final piece of wisdom from the video that really resonated with me.
Okay.
They emphasize that the ultimate goal isn't to die with a massive bank account, but to use your money to create a rich and fulfilling life.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a powerful reminder that money is a tool. It's a means to an end, not the end itself.
Right.
And it ties back to that 20% that we carve out for enjoyment.
Yeah.
You know, it's about consciously using your resources to create a life that truly resonates with you.
And the beauty is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
You know, what constitutes a rich and fulfilling life is deeply personal and unique to each individual.
Exactly. For one person, it might be traveling the world and immersing themselves in different cultures.
Right.
For another, it could be about pursuing creative passions or giving back to their community.
It all boils down to just aligning your spending with your values and really just identifying the experiences that bring you joy and fulfillment. Right.
Yeah.
Shifting from mindless consumption to more conscious and intentional living.
Exactly. So, dear listener, we leave you with this thought-provoking question. What does a rich and fulfilling life look like for you?
Yeah, and how can you leverage your financial resources to make that vision a reality? Maybe it involves adjusting your spending habits, maybe it's exploring new investment opportunities, or maybe it's just being a little more mindful and deliberate with your choices.
With your choices,
Your financial choices, I should say.
Remember, it's not just about accumulating wealth for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about using that wealth as a tool to live a life that is meaningful, purposeful, and aligned with your deepest values.
Absolutely. So take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you.
Yeah.
Set some financial goals that support those aspirations and keep those key takeaways from our deep dive top of mind.
The 15-65-20 system is a great framework to get you started.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's about adapting it to your own unique circumstances and goals.
And never underestimate the power of time.
Yes.
And compound interest.
Start early.
Start early, stay consistent.
Yes.
And let the magic of compounding work its wonders.
On that note, we'll leave you to ponder these questions and chart your own course toward financial freedom and a life that is both rich in experiences and deeply fulfilling.
Until next time, happy investing and happy living.